How's it going, hodlers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk, his impact on cryptocurrency, the crypto space in general, his recent tweets about Bitcoin, and of course we have to talk about Anonymous, the hacker group that fired shots at Elon Musk and actually brought up a lot of really good points that I think a lot of people in the community have been talking about. We're going to go into that right now. But before we do, go ahead and give the video a like, really helps share this video out. Also, join the Hodl fam by subscribing. All right, let's get into it. So there's a couple of things to break down with the whole Anonymous structure. They brought up a lot of really good points about Elon Musk, about his impact to the crypto space. Now, I've said this a number of times, and I'm going to say this at the outset of the video so everyone gets this. We need to stop propping up people as deities, as we need to stop investing basically on a billionaire's whim, whatever he tweets. I think a lot of people look up to Elon Musk, and fair so. He's an innovator. He's done a lot of things in terms of entrepreneurship. He started a lot of excitement for the space industry. So he's done a lot for the world. So I understand why people like him. People need to understand that what he says isn't always the reality. There's a lot of problems with the FUD that he gave about Bitcoin. And there's also a lot of problems with Bitcoin itself. But that being said, it doesn't mean you throw out the baby with the bathwater. And of course, there's this energy concern, and it is a concern. But when you look at certain energy production, it's not always feasible to switch completely over to renewables at this point, and not currently at the structure and the legislation that we have in place. So again, Elon Musk is a very intelligent person. He's a very skilled entrepreneur. He started SpaceX, Tesla. He's done a lot of good for humanity in that regard. He's an innovator. Nobody can really take that away from him. That being said, Anonymous did bring up that there are many other competitors now opening up in the space. We live in a capitalistic society, so we want competition in any sort of business that we have. And that includes space exploration and EV vehicles. We see Volvo doing incredible things with their vehicle. And we see companies like Blue Horizon doing a lot of stuff with space travel and crew travel. So there's a lot of other competition in where Elon Musk is. And where did Elon Musk come from? Well, he came from PayPal. Now, he didn't create PayPal by himself. There was a team behind him. And of course, the people that went from PayPal went off to invest in a bunch of other businesses, and they're now called the PayPal Mafia. Now, I wanted to talk about energy concerns, because when we talk about something like Tesla specifically, Tesla is an EV car. I would argue that most Tesla vehicles aren't powered solely on solar panels or solely on wind. It's most likely a combination of coal, solar, wind, and possibly nuclear. But what are the problems with renewables? We know that there are many problems. And I don't normally like to talk about anti-green technology because I'm pro-green technology, and I think renewables are going to get there. It's just we need much more R&D to figure out some of this stuff. Because we know right now solar panels are incredibly not clean at all. Some of the areas that they're developed in causes a bunch of areas in those communities. On top of that, solar panels itself probably only has between a 5 to 10 year lifespan, depending on the solar panel. So there's these massive amounts of solar farms that just have dilapidated solar panels that really just aren't doing anything for the grid. And they're too much to maintain, they're too much to keep up. So it's too much to actually keep the costs of these solar panels running. And on top of that, they can only produce energy during the day. So there's another added complexity there on how do we store this energy, which often becomes the bottleneck here. Generally, our issue isn't so much energy generation, it's energy generation at certain points. And when the sun's down and when it's dinner time, that's peak hour. So obviously we need more use on the grid while the sun is down at certain points. So we need to solve our energy storage issue. So you're probably thinking, well, Elon Musk is working on batteries, right? And this is actually something that Anonymous brought up specifically. Now, there is a lot of concerns with mining lithium. And I think when we look at the Earth as a finite resource, we start to realize the Earth isn't sustainable if we just keep taking resources from it. At some point, it runs out. That's what finite is. That's the definition of finite. So we need to find these materials on other places. I firmly believe that the future for humanity is going to be mining asteroids and mining the moon. But we can find a lot of lithium material on the moon. So eventually, we won't have to rely on just our Earth resources to worry about it. But we know that there's a lot of environmental concerns for the communities that these lithium mines are near, often causing dead fish and making their water supplies toxic. So really, there is a lot of concerns for both solar and wind. And if you look at the other side of the coin on renewable energy and natural gas, I would argue that natural gas is in no way a renewable energy resource. I feel that that's just something that's played up by big green energy and pushed through with legislation because it's still profitable. They're still chopping down trees to make gas. So basically what I'm saying is not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, exactly my point about Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is we need a lot more R&D. We need a lot more research and science behind this to make solar panels more robust, to make windmills more self-reliant and operational, and also to leverage more hydro technology, more nuclear technology, possibly even geothermal like Greenland. So there are other options to supplement the grid to finally get us off of coal power. But right now, we're not there. So realistically, what is Tesla doing that's positive for the ecosystem? And sure, they're doing some, but on the same token, they're not doing enough to earn the government subsidies that they're actually getting. And this big ploy about Bitcoin, tweeting, and Elon Musk seem to be a big fence-sitting tactic to basically have both the government subsidies and the Bitcoin. Have your cake and eat it too. Now, I would say that with government subsidies, Tesla is not the only company that we need to look at for this. There are a lot of companies that are abusing this system, and often this happens with government programs. So this just overall needs a complete rehash of exactly how we look at renewables and exactly how we look at government subsidies. We need to very meticulously look at what these companies are doing and understand exactly, are they beneficial for the ecosystem? On top of that, how do you regulate other countries? Say China. How do you tell them to stop mining Bitcoin with coal plants? You really don't. So there are a lot of concerns all around, not just Elon Musk and not just Tesla. But I feel that Anonymous was pretty on point with what they said in terms of attacking Elon Musk in this way. Now, like I said, there are a lot of competition in space exploration too. We have Blue Horizon, Boeing, a bunch of other organizations that are working towards this step. So obviously there is plenty of money backing these projects too. So you got to understand that Elon Musk isn't the end all be all, but by all means, I'm going to Mars if I have the chance. I'd rather die on Mars than die on Earth. Now, I just want to wrap it all up, talk about the whole thing. And if you want to watch the Anonymous video, I'm going to comment it down below. But on my Twitter, at Hodls, I did tweet out just the other day about the problem with Elon Musk. And maybe the problem isn't Elon Musk himself. Maybe the problem is that we're following every word that this man says, regardless of if it's factual or not. Obviously, Elon Musk is a shitposter. So just stop investing based on what he's telling you to invest in. And also stop playing into spoiled billionaire. I think a lot of the community is finally waking up to this result now. I think people are understanding that Elon can't be trusted in terms of what he wants to shill. Of course, he's still a good innovator. Of course, he's still an excellent entrepreneur. But there are some concerns that have been brought up. But I think these concerns are larger and wider than just Elon Musk and Tesla, but for the whole renewable energy space in all. And I don't think that this problem is specific to Bitcoin itself. The energy used to make Bitcoin is nothing compared to the energy used in our day-to-day lives. So realistically, what's being used on Bitcoin is a minuscule amount. We have a bigger issue to tackle, and unfortunately, that issue is out of scope of this channel. If you do like this content, go to give me a like, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, it really helps me out. And happy hodling.
Yeah! Yeah! We're not selling! We're not selling!